Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another. I will hide in my shell until
in your shell.
Quan.
Turtle Shane.
Quan is bullying Shane via intro music right now. Oh man,
Passive aggressive.
Good morning. My name is Shane Williams, and welcome to another episode of Into the West Comics.
Full government name.
Full government name. Welcome to New Comic Book Day, and I'm hosting this event because why am I sounding like Sam Malone? Remember he's doing sportscasting? Anyway. Okay, we got New Comic Book Day happening. We got Paul. We got Hot Doggy Paul.
Hi.
We got Brother Marcus. And we got Frankie crew on the Wheels of Steel. And they're going to start talking about all the...
L Frankie
crew. I'm not normally a supporting cast member. I don't know what I'm doing. And they're going to talk about new comic books that just came out not too long ago, or whatever they want to talk about. We're going to start with Brother Marcus. What you got for the peoples?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, so my three for this week.
Thank you. And begin.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'll start off with some indie love here with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin Lost Day Special. Ooh. So, spinning right out of the conclusion of the second major story that series that we got out of this Last Ronin universe. We have the Lost Day Special, which is an extended issue that is told from the perspective of April O'Neil.
Yep.
So it's with her narrative, and it's basically her looking after the new young turtles,
the little baby ones.
Yeah, the little baby ones. They're growing up. They're kind of age now. They can kind of get out and explore a little bit. And so it turns out that Casey, her daughter, is very, very protective. So, but April takes them out, and shows her around, and it turns out that she's very much, she's discussing throughout this whole issue how they're surviving after the fallout of the major battle with Orokosaki's, distant, nephew, I think, if I remember correctly, from the first story arc where they were battling over the control of New York and like all that.
I think it is his nephew.
Yeah. And so how tough life has been trying to, get the city back in order, and, and the survival that they've had to do. And so with that, April is having, she does a lot of black market trading and stuff like that. And so she takes the new young turtles along with her during one of her excursions, and without Casey knowing. So it's really good. Don't want to give out too much, but it's really solid. It's a very long issue as well. A lot of monologue, and art is incredible, and there's
well written.
Yeah, it's well written. There's going to be some potential for some more of this to come. I'm certain of it.
When it comes to a lot of monologue, you want well written monologue.
Yes, it's very smooth, very simple, like Tom Taylor, right? Just very, very good to
pardon me if you said this. It's still Eastman and Laird, right?
It's it's Eastman, but it's with Waltz and some other people. Okay. Yeah, Bishop. Right. Basically, the whole Last Ronin creative team. So it has it doesn't have Laird involved in it, but it has Laird's blessing. That's one of the things that Kevin Eastman said was very important to him, was if we were to go ahead and publish this thing that they had created, years ago, that I wanted to have his blessing. So
was Laird not on the original one? I feel like Last Ronin?
He wasn't.
Why did I think he was?
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Oh. Yeah, because it was a story that they both created years ago. Like, what would happen if we were to end the story or jump?
Maybe that's why his name is on the thing.
Right, okay. Right. That because the original story is partly his. So Kevin went on ahead and pushed forward with it with his blessing, which is great. And then the second one, is Catwolf and the Howling Commandos.
Ooh,
This was really
yeah.
cool. This was really cool.
Okay.
Now this is the Gary Frank variant cover. I have the A cover at home, and it's been fun so far. Stephanie Phillips is writing it, and I
Stephanie
thought,
Phillips is good.
yeah, I thought it was initially when I was reading it, I was thinking that Gary Frank did the internals as well, but it's actually artist Carlos Magno. I haven't heard of him.
nor have I.
Maybe he is another rising star, if you will. But it looks dead on like Gary Frank inside.
Interesting.
Incredible internals. And basically, what happens is you have Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos. They're going out on a mission, and Fury gets injured, and so Captain America steps in and kind of leads the group. And then they go on another mission where Captain America's at the helm, and it's a compound that's heavily guarded by the Germans, and they're trying to figure out what it is. That's some sort of bunker, and they're on an intel mission, and then once they get the intel, they're going to have to destroy this base. And with all the stuff that is ensuing, werewolves come out of nowhere and kind of attack the group,
I
the
hate when
unit.
that happens.
Yeah. Captain America is injured, and then he ends up turning into Catwolf.
Because from that cover, it just looks intense.
Yeah,
it's an intense cover.
It is very intense. It really has a lot of similarity to the Sergeant Rock
Shane, did you just
the
bark?
series that just came
Oh,
out.
very cool.
A little bit.
Yeah, sort of similar premises. So very good.
Are you okay?
And it's going to continue. I think there's already 4 issues that are already showing cover art for it. So we'll see how long this lasts. I'm not sure if it's a 5-issue mini or if it might go longer. Who knows? And then,
just from what I'm seeing from your third title, I'm copping
Oh,
it immediately.
I knew it. I knew it.
Begin.
third one, Dawn of DC, Power Girl, her first issue of her new series.
Her nude series?
God, I hope so.
Oh.
EW.
Oh. Shane's not interested anymore.
Okay.
And so she's in, so she's in the main universe of DC, and she's going by the name of Paige, which was like, and she goes at length of explaining how she came up with Paige, because at first she was known as Power Girl, and then it got shorter to PG,
Right.
and then it was Peach, and then it became
Really?
Paige. Yeah. So I was like, all right, whatever.
Okay.
But it's actually pretty cool.
Like a stage name.
yeah,
yeah.
Peach.
This is another Gary Frank, Brad Anderson cover, by the way, and
Fantastic.
another incredible work on the, not as well as the internals, but also the cover. And it's basically setting up what it looks like. She's basically auctioning. She's like this power broker essentially, and she's auctioning off all this.
You gotta hand the book to Shane.
May I see this cover?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say. Let's
Yeah,
have
let me
let me open it. Take the tip off.
take the tape off.
Yeah. Okay. So she's basically
He was going to do that anyway.
she had she's kind of like she's making her rounds in the social circles, in the elites of
The social circles.
in the social circles of Metropolis,
Okay.
and she's auctioning off a bunch of alien technology that she gets from her contact, which could be questionable. And and then the auction gets attacked, and new characters are debuted, as well as the Superman coming down and saying, "Hey, there's a new virus that's uniquely Kryptonian, and it's only targeted towards humans." And she's like, "What is going on here?" And not only is it uniquely Kryptonian, it's uniquely Kryptonian from your Krypton. Because she's in our universe. She's in the main universe, but her universe, of course.
She's like what?
Earth 2,
Earth
I think.
2 version of Supergirl, pretty much.
Right. And so, so it's interesting. So she gets sent off on a mission to investigate this down in South America, where this virus is spreading.
Was it Infinite? Was it the
great.
end of Death Metals where she like kind of took Earth 1 as her adopted home? I think it was that or Metals at the end of it.
That sounds right.
Or maybe
Mhm.
Infinite Frontier. I'm not
And
sure.
then she has a unique power. She can actually punch open holes to open doors into dimensions, kind of like what's her name?
America Chavez.
America Chavez. Yeah, and it says on the bottom note, see, I think it was Lazarus planet or
yeah.
something like that, where she gets that power. I didn't really follow up on Lazarus
I
planet.
didn't like
too.
it very much.
So I kind of I was glad to have that editor's note.
Yeah,
but,
that's good. Editor's notes are dope.
yeah. So that put me down. But yeah, it's been a pretty good, solid issue so far. We'll see where it goes.
Just thumbing through it, it has everything you need in a first issue. There's a lot of action in it.
Yes.
Yeah, the art is very good. Everything
Yeah.
is really good.
And it's written by Leah Williams. So of course she's her, Stephanie Phillips. We see a lot of those ladies. They're
Very
really
nice. Very nice. Excellent.
yeah. So
Paul, you're
All
up
right,
next.
I'm gonna try not to get booed here by Shane.
I won't boo you as far as you know.
All right, as far as I know. So I'm going to start with issue number 20
God.
of World's Finest.
Ooh,
wow.
I can't boo that. That's some good
Issue
stuff.
20 of World's Finest is the beginning of Mark Waid's venture back into his Kingdom Come universe.
Oh my.
The World's Finest run has been pretty like flawless so far.
Yeah.
And this kind of the second arc, the second volume of this was Strange Visitor. Boy Thunder gets kind of just like he appears in their dimension. They're like, what's going on? Superman takes him under his wing. Bruce is like, hey, I'll kind of teach you what I learned with raising the Robins and you trying to kind of, because he's very powerful. He has like heat kind of lightning powers, but it's like more heat associated, less like lightning associated, like Shazam.
Mhm.
But he disappears at the end of the arc again. He gets like apparated out of that universe into a different one, and at the end of that, he is standing in front of a gigantic figure that is Magog, who, for those who don't know, Magog is the superhero who takes over from Superman as the leader of the Justice League, sort of, in the Kingdom Come comic. Everything goes wrong. A bunch of people die. Superman comes back out of his retirement, and Magog goes, you think Magog's going to be a bad guy? And he goes, well, you left me with all of this in my hands. And you just because they said they didn't need you anymore, you didn't think I needed you?
Yeah.
And then Superman has to go in. The whole Justice League comes in and saves the day. It's probably, honestly, of the superheroes comics, probably the best comic I've ever read.
Oh my God.
So
That's saying a
not
lot.
this Kingdom Come. This is pretty good. But so
Oh my God.
they come
It's
into the universe with Magog, and Clark and Bruce see that all the heroes have died, like at the end of Kingdom Come. Boy Thunder is all grown up, and maybe he's not so friendly with Superman.
Mm.
And that's kind of where this ends, and you're off to the races with
What the
that. I'm
fudge?
really excited to see where the Kingdom Come story goes. And I'm so glad Dan Mora is back on interiors. The other guy was, I can't remember his name. He was fine, but he's not Dan Mora. Nobody's Dan Mora. And then the second book that I have today is...
Let me see that, bruh. Come on now.
Hey, man.
You
There was no
stingy?
Power Girl involved. I didn't think he wanted it.
Bruh.
The second issue I have today
Come on now.
is The Incredible Hulk number 5 from our friend.
Our Ken.
I'm
What
just
did he
Ken.
say?
Anywhere else, I'd be a friend. Or 10, whatever. Our friend Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Travel Foreman. So the last issue ends. They're in a swamp, and there's this monster who's kind of like a banshee or something or other that is like beckoning people to the swamp with their past loved ones. And the Hulk is kind of having a mind like battle with Man Thing. And then they end up deciding Hulk sees that the girl is about to die and he acts accordingly. And then the issue ends with Betty. Betty Ross shows up and she's all, I don't know why she is the way she is, but she has superpowers and she's like a demon of some kind. And Hulk acts like that's normal. So that must have happened in a story I didn't read. But she's saying that we have an opportunity to give our bodies away and have our normal lives back. And Hulk's like, oh. Or Bruce, because it's Bruce. Bruce is like, oh, all right. And that's kind of where we leave off here. We'll get Ghost Rider 44 in the next issue. I am super excited for that. And I can't wait to see how that pans out with all the craziness and monsterness going on in The Incredible Hulk right now. But it's still been everything Philip Kennedy Johnson promised. And then the big one this week, I've been trying to make a habit of getting a new #1 every week. And I got Beneath the Trees, Where Nobody Sees. So this is on its surface.
Looks like a fairy tale.
It is kind of like a fairy tale. You have like anthropomorphic animals, and they have lives. They work in like wood shops or like the grocery store, a newspaper salesman. But there are still animals in this universe who are just animals. So I don't know if that'll be touched on. But you can. They're not
a grocery
enclosed.
store.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so you meet Sam, who she owns a wood shop. And she seems like a nice, normal girl. You have this older goat, and he's like has dementia, and he keeps forgetting things.
It's Frank.
Hey.
And they live in the little town of
Forget everything.
of Woodsbrook, which is like 200 people. And we find out that Sam leaves to go to the city to kill people. She's a murderer. She won't murder people in that town because there's too little people. And she's like, it'll be a big thing, and they'll find me, whatever. So there's this really cool scene. She catches this guy, cuts him up, buries him, and then some like normal animal shows up, and she's like, these are the only things that know about my little secret, the Mother Nature. She goes back to Woodsbrook, and there's a fair going on with big floats, and this turtle who had been building the float is on the float, and it collapses, and the old goat who had dementia is like strung up and all like filleted on the top of this thing.
God.
And Sam is like, it would really suck if they came to investigate this murder and caught the wrong murderer. So it's kind of the framing device of she's going to have to figure out who is the murderer in Woodsbrook so that she doesn't get caught for her murders in the city. And it was
that's crazy.
Really, really good. I expected it to be kind of silly, almost Winnie the Pooh murder movie that came out recently, but it was so much better than that. And the art was really fantastic.
I don't know.
And I'm definitely gonna.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really,
You read it,
really
Frank?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had picked it up already, but he convinced me. He was like, you got to go read this. So I read it on top of all the stuff I was reading. But it's pretty great.
And it's dope.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you believe me now that he said it was good?
No.
It's so. I mean, it has Dexter vibes to
That's
it,
a
but
great
it's
way to
like
describe
a
it.
Winnie the Pooh type of universe with Dexter involved.
Sounds
Dexter is,
Oh, wow.
is
I
the
like that.
old goat. No, Dexter is not the old goat.
Dexter would be
Dexter's
Sam.
Oh, it'd be Sam. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
right.
Okay, so guys,
Frank,
good listening.
I got plenty of time, so I'll just go rapid fire through this.
Frank, real fast. What do you got?
Thanks, man. Thank you for introing me. First up, Green Lantern War Journal. We mentioned Philip Kennedy Johnson, friend of the show. He's coming to the end of his run of Action Comics. We're hoping to talk to him in the coming months. Green Lantern War Journal doesn't disappoint again this week. Actually, there's a really sweet moment between John Stewart and his mom where she middle names him, and I felt like I was in trouble. That's how good the point came across. Is like I felt like I was getting yelled at. And when you go middle naming, you can middle name your mom can middle name you even if you're a superhero.
Yeah.
Even if you're a lantern, you get middle named.
Yep.
Miles Morales, Spider-Man. Could we be getting Moon Knight? There's Blade and his daughter, Bloodline, are included in this.
Oh, wow.
They've been killing this story so far. It's been very enjoyable. The Tom Taylor is a nut. Come for the sea's immaculate beauty. Stay for Nightwing's pirate booty. There is a thirst trap Nightwing. Dick Grayson there on the cover.
A page that addresses what he's wearing in that comic.
Yes,
it's fantastic. The girl who's on the boat with him is like, there was a shirt, pants, and sneakers in there, and you put this on? He's like, I didn't see
Yes.
it. And he's like, I'll go change. And she's like, no.
because
You
it
can
switches
go ahead.
over from the panels where he's talking to her and is like, oh, she's like a pirate captain. Is like, where'd you get that blouse shirt from, bro? It's all of a sudden I think it's turning into a pretty cool story. I mean, we're just like in the second part of that.
Nightwing is so good.
And finally, I know it's the story you've been clamoring for your entire life.
I couldn't get myself
Justice
to buy
League
it.
versus Godzilla versus Kong. We're in that monster verse, the massive verse. What is it?
Monsterverse.
Yeah, it's been a cool start to this story. Clark or Superman is hanging out with Lois Lane, of course. Godzilla, like he would anytime Godzilla shows up in Metropolis. And he's got to respond. There's a cool little Legion of Doom reference because they're involved in this as well. They are actually the ones that they make their first contact with Kong. So all this stuff is starting to, it's a 6-issue limited series, but there's a really fun reference that they made is that they reference the Justice League as the Super Friends. Cheetah is talking amongst her group, the other members of the Legion of Doom, and she's like, "Well, we're not close like those super friends over there." Like So I enjoyed it. All of these were really enjoyable, and this is probably like a third of the stuff that I got to read this week. So I read that and the fleas and the trees and underneath the
knees.
bee's knees, whatever it's the horror. Yep.
I'm copping everything that you guys got to offer. It was a pretty good. I wasn't going to cop the Justice League Kong yada 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 until you said that they referenced.
I think it's because that new TV series is coming out on Apple Plus, and that looks dope.
Yeah, it does.
Kurt Russell versus some
looks
monsters.
amazing. Yeah, it does look amazing.
Big Trouble and Little.
I know,
right?
Couple things we want to talk about and to touch on. New York City Comic Con, we had the announcement that Philip Kennedy Johnson will be leaving Action Comics at the end of the year. Jason Aaron is going to be coming on as the new writer. Which is very
cool.
I'm excited for that, but I don't want to.
He's ever written for DC, has he?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
he's been like Star Wars, Marvel.
He's been Marvel.
Last time that happened, it was not very good.
The ridiculous Thor run that he had. Peach Momoko, there's that Ultimate Universe. They're going to be expanding that new Ultimate Universe out of the Ultimate miniseries that we've been getting. It's wrapping up now with Hickman. Right. And Peach Momoko is actually going to be infusing, I think, some of her characters from Demon Days into her X-Men title. She's going to be writing and drawing the X-Men title, the Ultimate X-Men title.
Wow.
There's going to be a new Ultimate Spider-Man. And there looks to be
the Nightfire stuff.
The Nightfire stuff.
Clayman and his brother.
Clayman and his brother will be doing a Batman Nightfire series. Tom Taylor announced that there's going to be a sequel or follow-up series to the Dark Knights of Steel.
Much needed.
That's going to be. It's also going to involve the guy had done. I got to look up his name, but there's going to be a story about Deathstroke as a Viking.
Oh,
that's going to be
cool.
It's going to be within that universe.
Yeah. That sounds really cool.
So I'm excited for that. A lot of good announcements. I mean, everybody's just been kind of like held up to where they can't really say anything or do anything because of the, all the strikes and everything going on. It seems like there was a lot of good comic book stuff coming out of New York Comic-Con.
The Guardians of the Galaxy guys, Lansing and Kelly, they're going to have a Elseworld Batman story as well. So a lot of cool Elseworld stuff for DC that looks like it's coming out.
So Dark Knights are still they're still kids, right? Or
No, they're all grown up.
They're grown up. I was gonna say because with Deathstroke coming in,
there's the kids version.
Got the whole Teen Titans thing happening.
Yeah, I think you're referencing there was like a in between because Dark Knight still took forever to come out.
Right.
There was a smaller he
was writing like 7 books,
couple issues thing in between where it was when they were kids.
Right,
but that was not the main run.
Gotcha.
So this is following up that.
Sure. And then there's also Ghost Machine too.
That's right.
That venture between Jeff Johns, Jason Fabok, Gary Frank.
There's a lot of people.
There's a lot of different people on there.
It's an Image imprint.
The old Justice League
it's
creative
basically
team.
going to be. I don't know if it's an Image imprint, but they're basically starting something like Image did, where they got all those people. Where you had like Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, Todd McFarlane,
homeboy from Star Trek.
Yeah, they got all those. All those guys came together and formed Image, where they're kind of doing
LeVar
it
Burton?
again.
No.
What?
Worf?
No. Who's the Star Trek guy that was part of Image?
I don't know. William Shatner?
I'll Google it.
Yeah.
James Doohan?
But yeah, so Ghost Image. So they're gonna be doing, they're gonna start kind of like
Nichelle Nichols,
their own, their own creator-owned imprint called Ghost Machine. So hopefully something good comes out of that very well. And with Jeff Johns and Gary Frank a part of it, we're gonna no doubt see more from that whole Geiger universe and those things to come most likely.
Will Spataccio.
Okay, yeah, Will. There you go.
Y'all thought I was crazy.
Yes.
A little bit. We still think that, but it hasn't
a little
Star
bit.
Trek thing.
A little bit.
Yeah. A little bit.
Jay Kristoff is going to be doing that Deathstroke
Look at him, he's so smart.
series,
Look how
and then
smug he
the
is.
Dark Knights of Steel thing. That's the all winter.
And I've seen Plane, Trains, and all those movies.
You have not seen Planes, Trains, and
I swear to
Automobiles.
God.
Oh my word!
I refuse to believe you've seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles still
Shane.
to this minute.
Shane, I need you to get us out of here. It's pizza time.
Oh, all right, everybody. This has been Into the West Comics, New Comic Book Day. We're We're copying everything that everyone has talked about, and it's pizza time in America right now. We're out of here, baby. Good night.
Rest in peace, Keith Griffin.
Rest in peace, Keith Griffin. We almost forgot.
Giffen.
Keith Giffen.
Yeah.
Keith Giffen.
There would be no Boom Studios without Keith Giffen.
That's right. Justice League International, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Love Marcus's X-Men shirt. Love his Kangol.
What is with you in shirts? You don't like my shirt?
No, I like your shirt too.
Demon Kitty Cat.
It's my girlfriend.
Everyone,
Wow.
give me your shirts.
Demon Kitty. Everybody take your shirts off.
Everybody go.
Guys, have a good evening.
Good night. Love you.
Yes.
Love you.